Hey guys, Azir bringing you another video. Now welcome to a patch note breakdown video. So again, we don't do these all the time, but every single time we do them, people really enjoy, well, the people that watch them really enjoy that we do them. So yeah, this isn't a very big patch, so we're just going to go through it very quickly. And if I'm honest, I do these as well for you guys, but I do them for me too. I haven't read the patch notes yet, and we're about to start the recording session of today, so I need to know what's happening in the game. But before we begin the actual patch notes, in the new patch, they did make a mistake. It might have been on the PBE or something like that, but in one of the files to the upcoming skins, they included an image for the wrong champion, and they included this image. So this, everybody, and again, I won't get in trouble for this because it was Riot's mistake. It's not a league partner leak or anything like that. This is looking to be the new champion. So she's probably an AD carry. The artwork definitely doesn't look finished because you can see like near her left hand, there's like two worse versions of the thing that she has on her back. So yeah, you ignore that because it's obviously a work in progress splash art, but she looks cool. She's an AD carry, and it does look like she's got a massive gun potentially behind her. But yeah, let me know what you think of her. Twitch chat right now I think has nailed it. And again, I actually don't know anything about this champion, or not too much. She looks like Echo's sister. So she's got like technology like Echo, and let's be honest, she looks like Echo a bit. You can't hide away from that. So it would be really cool if they implement a character like, you know, is related to Echo or something. Yeah, Hextech eyes potentially. There's something going on with her eyes. So I think that looks really cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of her? Again, we do pretty much know that she's going to be an AD carry. And yes, this was a mistake by Riot. Don't know how that happens, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, the patch notes. So we've got over here on the right, so we've got some champion changes, rune changes, ARAMs that we don't really care about, Honor 5 rewards, ranked changes, bug fixes, and the upcoming skin. So again, a not very big patch, which is nice because last patch was massive. All right, so we've got, these are the upcoming skins, so we'll do that straight away. So, well, a little bit of a summary, actually. So you've got the new Pantheon, you've got these two skins. All right, so yeah, new Pantheon is here. We've spoken about this guy quite a bit. I doubt, because some people say, oh, am I going to play him? No, probably not. Unless I see a playstyle emerge from like good players that's like, oh, it's got that late game potential that, you know, you're not building the Electrocute Ignite, you're going like Conqueror and you're, you know, making it work. Then maybe I'll play him if that comes about, but from my gut feeling, no. Because that, you know, that's why I'm a bit disappointed in him. Azir. So Azir has been seeing play in high rating again. He is one of those champions that is very hard to balance in high rating. Nearly impossible, if I'm honest, because the mechanics of the champion is all about keeping people away and basically not letting people play the game the way they want to. And when you have a fantastic player on that champion, what can you do? He is designed just to be that annoying. So his early game has stayed the same, but starting at rank 2, so from rank 1 it's 15 seconds, but rank 2 it's a 0.5 second nerf to the cooldown, and then in late game it's a 2-second nerf, so it goes from 5 seconds, what it used to be, to now 7 seconds, and remember that can still be affected by cooldown reduction, so 7 seconds, take off 40%, but still, that is a 2-second overall nerf for Azir, which is considerable. You know, when you watch an Azir in teamfight, he's using his Q quite often to get his soldiers, to attack more people, for him to move around with his E, so this is going to hurt Azir, but again, he is one of those champions that it's hard to balance. Again, someone in Twitch chat is saying, who do I consider harder to balance, Ryze or Azir? Both are very hard to balance because, well, Riot actually said not that long ago, maybe about a year ago by now, they actually said they gave up balancing Azir, Kalista, and Ryze. They just said, they legit was like, we can't. If we try to balance her, or balance them, high rating players abuse those mechanical intense champions and they just get overpowered. And then if we make them too weak, then in low rating, they are legit useless. So Riot was like, we don't know what to do with these champs, where it does seem they're attempting to do something with them again. All right, so Corki. So he is seeing quite a lot of play in mid lane at the moment. I've played against a few, and they are annoying because they're kind of designed to, from memory, you know, you build fleet footwork on him, and then you go Hex Drinker Rush. It's like you just can't kill the sod. But base attack damage and attack damage growth decrease, so it is hurting his Well, hurting his early game and late game scaling, if we're honest. So yeah, his early game can bully a bit too much. A 5 attack damage nerf at level, base stats is going to hurt him a bit, and also he gains less AD per level. So he used to gain 3 per level, so 3 times 18. That's what he would have got naturally. He now gets 2.5 times 18, so quite a bit less. Not a crazy amount though, let's be honest. Dr. Mundo. Haven't seen much Dr. Mundo myself, but his W tenacity has been flattened and his E cooldown now scales. So this is a buff. Yes, big buff. Wow, very big buff. So his tenacity used to start at 10%, and then it got to 30% at maximum rank. So again, a lot of people don't know. When Mundo has W activated, he gained tenacity, which is like Mercury Treads. It reduces the amount that CC affects him. Well, now, if you run Mercury Treads with now Mundo, even starting in the early game, and you have W on, because it's a toggle, you won't be CC'd very much, even right in the early game. And then also the cooldown on E, which is actually quite a big attack auto reset and everything. It's actually not bad. That is also a buff for late game. So this is actually a substantial buff for Dr. Mundo. Not sure it's going to make him meta, if I'm honest. But yeah. And again, someone just said, is there no need to take the tenacity rune on him too? Probably not, but I guess you could if you literally like, what the hell is CC? I do not care. You could just be that with Dr. Mundo. Echo. So again, look at that, by the way. There's Echo. And again, what we said earlier, look, there, the technology and everything, it could. Again, it could. It would be really cool if it is. I actually like when champions are connected. I think they've been doing a bit less of that recently. Anyway, Echo, E bonus damage increased and R cooldown decreased late. So this is a buff. So the E damage has grown by 10 at rank 1 and has grown by 10 in rank 5. And then also his ultimate has been a buff of, at rank 2 it starts, it's a 10 second buff that it comes up quicker, but then really it's the rank 3, so at level 16 it is a 50-second base cooldown ultimate, which are then take into account cooldown reduction. You're going to talk that Echo ultimate is going to be roughly a 30-second ultimate now. That's kind of crazy. In a very long, extended team fight, Echo might be able to get 2 ultimates off in late game. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I do think Echo has room to be in the game a bit more. He is kind of the assassin that kind of gets forgotten about a lot of the time. So yeah, if we see more Echo, that's fine with me. Hell, I might even play him because we've been playing a lot more Diana, and Echo and Diana are actually kind of similar. So yeah. All right, so we've got Ezreal. So again, one of my favorite AD carries, if not my favorite AD carry. So we've got the Q AP ratio decrease and E cooldown increase. I'm not surprised with this. So basically, and again, they're probably going to summarize what I'm going to say here. The natural build of Ezreal at the moment is hybrid. So it's more of a hybrid than most hybrid champions. You are literally building full AP items. Like you're building your Triforce, you're building, the normal stuff, Muramana, but then you'll literally get a Luden's Echo, and you'll get maybe a Death Cap, depending how well you're doing. So it's a very hybrid build, which is cool, and I kind of like that, but it is too strong. Ezreal is damage with, if you get late game with Ezreal, you just one-shot things, and Ezreal isn't really designed to do that. So I'm fine with it being nerfed a little bit. So it's been halved. The Q ratio has been halved, which is pretty big. And then the cooldown on his E isn't... Whoa! At rank 1, it's a 6-second nerf. It was 19 seconds. It's now 25 seconds at rank 1. Wow, that's a big nerf. In late game, it's the same, though. So it's 13 seconds, 13 seconds. But it's just hurting his lane phase. It's hurting his mobility, his safety in lane phase of having E up so much. So that is a pretty big nerf, but there you go. All right, so Fiora. You see Fiora a little bit, but she, again, I would put Fiora on just the outskirt of meta top laners. She's definitely viable. If you're a good Fiora, you'll do great, but she's not mainstream. The likes of Aurelia, Jax, and stuff like that are just more popular than her. Actually, Jax I haven't seen that much of recently, but you know what I mean. She's not mainstream, but she's definitely good if you're good at her. So her E cooldown decreased early, bonus attack speed now scales, so this seems to be a buff to maybe get her into that mainstream. So the cooldown has gone a buff of E by 2 seconds at rank 1. That is actually very considerable because that will help her lane phase, which is where I think she needs the biggest help. To, when you're fighting a Darius, a Renekton, and Aurelia in the early game, that's maybe where Fiora's strength isn't amazing. And yes, her late game is fantastic, but you have to get to that late game, and having a 2-second buff at rank 1, you know, that's pretty good. And then also the bonus attack speed is 50% all ranks is what it used to be. It now scales, and she can get 90% attack speed at max rank. Holy moly. So they're nearly giving her double bonus attack speed when she has E up. Okay, yeah, that's a big buff. Hi, Fiora, how are you doing? You'll be in the games now, I think. Wow. Jax. So they are buffing Jax. Questionable decision, right? Okay. So you do still see a bit of Jax, not a crazy amount, but again, he is not a weak champion at all. Like, you know, weak is like over here, and that would be like Ivan. Jax is like, and you know, strong is here. Jax is like here. Like, why are you buffing when he's here? Like, I don't know, whatever. Sure. Kassadin, W basic attack damage modifier increased. Why are you buffing Kassadin? What do you mean? He's really strong right now. Isn't he one of the best mid laners in the game? Right now. I think he is. So they're strengthening the aspects of Kassadin. Okay, so what are they doing? Empowered basic attack damage was 40, 65, 90, 115, plus 0.8 ability power. It's now 70, 95, 120. Oh my god. So it's the same AP ability, but they're giving him 30 more base damage. No, wait, 30... Oh! 30 more AD of, like, your empowered W. Oh my god. Okay, that's going to do a lot of damage, because, again, mid laners don't really build armor, do they? What's Riot doing? Like, what? Yeah, Kassadin is not bad at the moment, so having a buff with him is a bit weird. The only thing that makes me think that might be more of a pro buff, like not a solo queue buff, that they want Kassadin seen in pro play. You know, Worlds is coming soon, and Kassadin is a bit exciting, I guess. They're, you know, maybe. That's questionable. Leblanc, Q AP ratio increase. Really? Don't buff Leblanc. No one wants that. Who wants that? The only people... LeBlanc players don't even want that, because they even hate LeBlanc too. Oh well. So they're getting a 0.1 AP ratio increased, which again, a lot of people are like, oh, that's nothing. But again, the way that you always have to think about it. So 0.1 doesn't do a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot. But when you're doing trade after trade, and if you do your double Q, because that would count also with your R combo with double queuing. Obviously, you normally don't double Q anymore, but it adds up. So, like, you know, let's just say this Q buff gives her 50 more damage with ability power, with, like, having 200 AP or something. It just gives 50 more damage, 100 more damage. You do that 2 or 3 times your opponent, well, suddenly you're then doing, really, in a span of 2 or 3 more spells, you're doing 200-300 more damage to that opponent. It adds up. So it's considerable. A 0.1 ratio increase is nothing to, you know, turn your nose at. It's actually pretty good. Lux, what are you doing? W shield increase late. Riot, we have to have words here, man. So they finally got rid of Lux. They finally got rid of Lux support. They're like, right, she's a mid laner. She has scaling for mid. We're getting rid of her. Get rid of the shields. Next patch, they're giving the shields back. Oh, what are you doing, Riot? Okay, so the shield is, again, it's not early game, so she'll still suffer a lot in lane phase, so it's probably still not going to become full meta again. But this is probably for the people that, like, you know, the one tricks that, you know, picked up Lux. They're probably happy about this. I'm not. So the late game shield is now 150 there from 110, so it's a 40 buff base, and the maximum shield has gone up by 80, so it still can only maximum shield someone for 300. Again, I can't remember how it works with Lux. Is it 300 and then 300, so then it's 600? I don't remember. And then obviously the shielding items can then take effect as well, Ardent and all those, but I'm not a big fan of that. But anyway, Nocturne. So we haven't seen a lot of Nocturne, just very occasionally. So it'd be interesting to see what they're going to do. So they're giving up a big buff stats, base stats buff. Armor's been up by 2, which again, for jungle clearing, is really nice. Oh, Vixie's in the chat. She says, it's base on hit and then doubled on second. Wait, what? The shield is doubled on second. So what? It goes 300 and then it gives 600 on the way back. That's actually quite a big shield now. Wow. So 38 armor. I think that's what they got rid of, though, last patch, maybe. I don't know. Health has gone up by a little bit. Nothing crazy. The mana's also gone up by a tiny amount, nothing crazy. And the mana regen has also gone up, which that is probably the biggest thing that helps. Okay, that's the thing that they got rid of. Never mind. So yeah, Vixie's out of date. Grr. So yeah, so that's just a base shield. But again, considering that they got rid of the there and back again, it's still not probably going to be very viable. So base stats, they're not crazy base stats, but they will help out with jungle clearing just to be a little bit healthier in the jungle. And then your bonus attack speed has gone up quite a bit. That's actually not bad. So a 10% buff at rank 1 and then a 10% buff at rank 5. So a 10% buff. Yeah, that's nice. Again, I don't really see Nocturne as a crazy good jungler nowadays. They're just things that can carry games way better than him. The base reason for it is Nocturne is really only a thing when his ultimate's up. So, you know, I've got ultimate up, I'll go for that one person, kill that person, sure, but then what do you do then? He's not the strongest champion after that, and I think that's just his core fundamental problem. So I don't see him becoming mainstream or anything like that, just due to that problem. Riven. I actually don't think Riven needs a nerf. Anyway, Q cooldown flattened, so it used to be... Oh, that's a nerf. Poor Riven mains. There's a lot of them, remember. Q cooldown used to be 12, 11.5, 11, 10.5, 10. It's now flattened at 12 seconds. Obviously does take into account cooldown reduction, so that will be roughly an 8-second cooldown with your cooldown reduction when you eventually have it. But yeah, so instead of it being maybe a 6-second cooldown when you had max CDR, it's now an 8-second. So a 2-second nerf, that is considerable. Remember in late game when you're kind of like fighting and things are really close by the two top laners and whichever one wins will get the inhibitor, 2 seconds is a long time. So that is actually quite a big nerf for Riven. And yeah, Twitch chat is saying, yeah, this is a North American nerf because they're the only region that finds Riven oppressive. Weird. Again, Riot has come out with data that shows that. It's the only region that actually has a problem with Riven. I don't know why. Like, it's really weird. But yeah, because most meta top laners beat Riven, so yeah. Sejuani. So she is a big presence right now, so I'd actually expect these to be nerfs. Frost armor base armor and magic resistance decreases. Should there be a comma in there? I'm not really sure. Ratio increase though. Q cooldown has been increased, so that's a nerf. So what are we doing? So it used to be frost armor, which is the passive, used to give 20 armor plus bonuses of 0.25 scaling, and 20 of magic resist, the same thing. It now gives only 10, but better scaling, so it will help you more in late game. So when you have more armor in late game, it'll be probably scaling better. But again, there's always math to kind of realize when is the balancing point. Is it having 100 armor, then makes it a buff? Is it 200 armor, then makes it a buff? That's what you'll have to work out if you're a Sejuani player. But overall, it's probably fine. It just hurts her early game because she's very tanky in the early game. And then her cooldown on her Q is a nerf in the early game by 3 seconds, which is considerable, but a nerf to late game by only 1 second. So again, still a nerf. Does hurt her early game, hurts her early game skirmishes and stuff like that, but I think it's fine because Sejuani, to me, does have a very big presence. It's very hard to kill Sej. Incredibly tanky, Warmogs is part of her natural build, so you'll have a fight, she'll get low, she goes away for 5 seconds, comes back and she's full health. It's like, we got to kill that thing again. So I think that is completely fine nerfs. Shen. Shen's getting a buff when the Infernal skin is coming out. Q, empowered damage ratio increased, and E, base damage increase, so 2 buffs as well. Interesting. Like they want to sell Infernal skins. So it's a buff of maximum health by 1 second, which is actually pretty considerable, especially in the meta when you're building a lot of health items and stuff. And then the base of the taunt, which a lot of people don't realize that it does damage, it does a little bit of damage, has gone up by 10, and that's it. So again, if someone's right now, if you're playing Shen in top lane and you've ever been against someone that they survived on 5 health, well, that little damage difference here, if you taunted them, they'd now be dead. So that's basically what that means. Singed, okay. Again, there's nothing that's going to make Singed meta. This is a change for Singed players, and that's about it. Because again, his playstyle is, let's just call it, very unique. You're the running man of League of Legends that doesn't do a whole lot unless you're very good at what you do. Which is rare even for Singed players too. But anyway, so base mana increased and our bonus stats increased late. So it's a buff. So mana's gone up actually by a considerable amount. So 40 more mana at base. The attack damage has also gone up for auto attacks. The mana regen has been nerfed. Yep, okay. And then the attack speed growth has gone up, which again doesn't really matter, but sure. And then Insanity Potion has done a buff by 5 at rank 2 and 10 at rank 3. Not crazy buffs, but I'm sure if you're a Singed player, you'll take it. Scion. Base mana increased. Q base... This is actually a bigger patch than I thought, by the way. I thought this was like a little itty bitty patch. Apparently not. Base mana increased. Q base min and max damage increased. Remove damage reduction on monsters. Huh. Wait, what? Oh, right. I wonder why they're doing that. So the mana's gone up by 5 at rank 1 base, and then the health has also gone up by like 3 at base, and the mana regen has been nerfed. I guess they're just getting rid of these like random 0.8s. They're just making a whole number. Then the Q, it used to minimum if you just like tapped Q, it used to do 20 damage base. It now can do 30, so a little bit more. And then the maximum damage it can do is base by 10, but then at maximum, it does 30 more damage than it used to do. And then, yeah, they got rid of this, so it now does more damage to monsters, which could open him up into jungle, or they're making his strategy more viable to go steal a buff. Remember, the big Scion strategy was go to the enemy red at rank 1, use your Q, try to kill it really quick, die, and then teleport to top lane, and you keep the enemy red or whatever. It's more viable now because your Q will do more damage to the red. So maybe that's it, but I don't really know why they do that, but sure. Severe, WAD ratio decreased early. So again, she is becoming quite good. And again, it's literally here when coupled with Yuumi. Again, they are the strongest two combo with Yuumi to me. Severe, Yuumi, you have the movement speed from Severe with then the movement speed from Yuumi, and then Severe has a spell shield, so that helps when they get caught. It's a really good combo. So the ratio of Ricochet, which does a decent amount of damage, has been nerfed by 20% at rank 1 of Severe's attack damage, but in late game it's the same. So it's just making her lane phase less oppressive, which I think is fine. Silas, again, I think he's really hard to balance because Riot don't know what they want to do with him. Is he full AP? Is he tanky? We don't know, apparently, so let's see what they're going to do. Detonation damage, so it now does normal damage versus monsters, so that is opening up potentially Silas Jungle, which, by the way, people are doing. So people have been doing Silas Jungle even with 45% reduced damage of his Q. So that's interesting. And then the R, Silas now properly heals himself when casting a hijacked R. Mantra, oh, that's literally just from Karma, it's a bug fix. So there you go. Syndra, again, a kind of just the outside of what I deem meta right now in mid laners. She kind of could be meta, but she is just, I don't know, she feels a little bit weaker than others. So a little buff could actually bring her into... Wait, they nerfed Silas? What do you mean? How? Q, his second part of Q, damage reduction now applies to monsters and... Wait, did I? Oh, wait, what? Silas has been thriving in the jungle after his latest set of changes, following up the... Oh, that's a nerf. I read it wrong, my bad. So it is now affecting... It's now a 45, or it's now a damage reduction. Okay, yeah, my bad. Again, I have to read these quite quick, so I might occasionally miss it, but that's why I do these when I'm live on Twitch, because Twitch chat can go, no, that was wrong. Thank you very much. So yeah, that actually will hurt his jungle quite a bit. I think people will still jungle him, though, to be honest. All right, so sorry, Syndra. Q, bonus damage against champions increased, and E, base damage increased. So again, this could bring her maybe into the light. So it's a 10% bonus damage against champions for her Q. That's pretty big. And then a E, base damage has gone up by 15 at rank 1 and by 15 at rank 3. That's not bad. Again, Syndra, she has strength to her. The biggest problem with Syndra, and I've even played her recently, is her lack of mobility. If someone wants to gank you over and over and over again, they get your flash, well, you're probably dead next time. Like, she's incredibly hard to keep alive. Again, everyone knows that, you know, she's got no mobility, and if you miss the the QE combo to push people away, or they have flash to flash on you, yeah, you're probably dead. So I'm not incredibly convinced that's going to bring her into the front. It could bring her into pro play, and the reason why pro play and solo queue is different, in pro play they could pick Syndra knowing they can have a front line for Syndra, and obviously pro play they generally play a little bit safer anyway. and have better vision than solo queue. So yeah, maybe pro play will see her a bit, but I doubt it's going to bring her, you know, into solo queue that much. Tahm Kench, base movement speed decreased, E shield duration decreased, so movement speed has gone down by 10%. I think that's good, because he does seem actually quite quick. And then the thick skin E shield duration has gone from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, so those are more nerfs for Tahm Kench. F in the chat. But yeah, no, he's designed to be annoying, is Tahm Kench. That's literally what he's designed to be. And the movement speed is probably the bigger nerf, because now he can't, like, just stay near people and, like, continue licking them menacingly and then eat that person. So you might be able to get away from him in top lane, so that's nice. Yuumi. I think we're nearly there, by the way. Yeah, we're nearly there. Cool. Q impact. I'm expecting quite big nerfs, by the way, because people have worked out how to play Yuumi. And you just couple her with AD carries like Kai'Sa, Ezreal, or Severe, and she's actually pretty good. If you don't couple her with one of those, she's not very good. But anyway, Q empowered damage decreased late, slow decrease, slow duration flattened, and cooldown increased early. Again, another thing, by the way, is people are working out is the strongest person to put Yuumi with is with a movement speed intensive bruiser. So, you know, a lot of you might have seen Garen being played in pro play recently. That started, actually, in the UK LC. It's a championship that I work with and promote, and it's Pro League in the UK, and they did Garen Yuumi in bot lane a few weeks ago, and it might have been Fnatic. Again, Fnatic have a team in the UK LC too. It might have been Fnatic, it was someone like that, and it was very effective because you can't stop Garen. And yes, he's useless in a champion himself, but it was to help the Yuumi. It was all for the Yuumi because Garen's got the Q movement speed, he's got the W that he can kind of like resistances and stuff. It's hard to stop a Garen, even if he doesn't do much damage himself, and it's a brilliant setup strategy. So that's probably also why they're nerfing Yuumi, is because pro teams are now using Yuumi alongside bruisers like Garen or something like that. And yeah, someone in Twitch chat, Garen was literally just a car. Yes, he was. And again, it was weird to see Garen mains come out the woodwork on Reddit and go, the pros are playing it wrong. Here's what they should be doing. And I was like, hold up, stop. They're legit just playing it for Yuumi. Stop. They're not doing it because he's strong. It was quite funny to watch. But anyway, the nerfs. So empowered damage has gone down by quite a bit in late game. So a 50 damage nerf in late game. That's quite big. The slow also in lane phase has been halved in the early game. It was 40%. It's now 20%. So again, it will scale. And it does end up at 80%, which it used to be. But again, big nerf in the early game. The slow duration also has been flattened. So it now is 1.5 seconds at all ranks, where before it started at 1.25, it ended at 1.75. So it's kind of like a middle of the range, kind of like flattening out. And then the cooldown has also gone up by 2 seconds at rank 1, but it is the same that it used to be in late game. So overall, nerfs for Yuumi, but that I think is to be expected. Ziggs, WAP ratio increase. So we really haven't seen much Ziggs. Again, people have even been asking me, should I play Ziggs? Because he used to be one of my biggest played champs. He has kind of the same thing with Syndra, that he is really easy to kill, and there are just better picks than him, so maybe buffs is what you need. So the AP ratio of Satchel, which isn't exactly what I think they would have wanted to buff, but anyway, has been a 0.15 AP ratio increase, so that is a considerable buff. The cooldown as well has been buffed. Wow, that's actually nice. A 4-second cooldown buff for the rank 1, but it flattens out at 12 seconds what it used to be. And then the cooldown on ultimate has also been buffed. Starting at rank 2, it's a 10-second buff, and then at rank 3, obviously in late game, is a 20-second buff, and then obviously take cooldown reduction into that. So that is nice for Ziggs, but really what I think they needed to do on him is buff his Q. His big tool for poking people, he's a poke champion that pokes, suppresses, then goes for W satchels on towers with his auto attack. I think that might have been just the wrong buff, but it will still help him. Obviously, it's a buff in general, but I think they needed to do something to his Q, or maybe something to his mines instead of the W, but that's just me. Runes, a biscuit. I'm not going to go into that crazy amounts, but you only now get 3 biscuits, but I guess they might do more things, maybe, or they have been nerfed, actually. I think they've been nerfed. Biscuit, we'll just read this. Biscuits delivered decreased, so there used to be 4, there's now 3. Delivery intervals adjusted, so obviously because you're only getting... Oh, you're getting more in the early game, it seems. Health and mana per biscuit decreased. Health duration decreased. Permanent mana per biscuit increased. So you get more mana for having a biscuit, but you get less sustain for having them. So yeah. Humble Dumble, welcome, dude. Thanks very much for 14 months in a row. ARAM Nurse, I don't care about. Honor 5 rewards, so because Honor's a thing, again, it's hard to remember because it's not really a, you know... Riot haven't done anything with Honor, let's be honest. And again, when these are the rewards, I don't think many people care about Honor. So you still get Medieval Warwick, no, Medieval Twitch and Medieval Warwick, yeah, both of them. And now there's these new chromas that you can get if you already own the skins. Yay! Amazing for us that don't really play those champions, but, you know, woo. Ranked. What's happening here? We're unifying Challenger and Grandmaster 0 LP demotion rules with Master's existing rules. This is mainly an edge case change, since losing LP over a few days or weeks naturally demotes the player into Master before they reach 0 LP. Through in smaller servers, sure. It'll also address situations where it's near impossible to demote out of Challenger. Wow, that would be nice. Demote out, not demote out. That would be cool. They by the way did say on Twitter maybe about 2 weeks ago that they were going to try and fix high rating. High rating is a mess. It's been a mess for the whole season. You've got people that kind of climbed the MMR wave at the beginning of the season when everything was broken. They had like a 35% win rate, and they've kind of sticked around. And they might, they might play one game a month or something just to keep Diamond 1. It's not good. And Riot have said they are going to address that, but they don't really know how they're going to do it. One way that they have said they're going to address it is potentially tone down, what's it called? Autofill in high rating. Just high rating. It might be like a Diamond 1 and above thing only, because autofill is stupid in high rating. It was a stupid thing in general. But when Riot themselves have made a system that is putting people only into 2 roles, mainly to 1 role, you're a mid and jungle main or whatever, you're primarily playing mid, and then, okay, yeah, you've played 25 games of mid lane in a row, now get autofill to AD carry, have fun. It's like, what? Most of the player base can't do that. Especially the newer player base that has only been playing since this system. And so autofill in high rating is pointless. If you're in Diamond 1 or Master and you've got a Master jungler versus a autofilled jungler that's a support main, guess who's going to win that? It's just pointless. So they are thinking about doing that, but there is no news of it in this patch, unfortunately. So there's a bunch of bug fixes that I'm not going to go through. You've got new skins, which is Dragon Oracle Udyr, which looks pretty weird. And then the new Hextech is Hextech Ramos. But there we go. That is actually a bigger patch than I thought. We've gone longer than I thought, but I like talking, apparently. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Is there anything in the patch you disagree with? Anything you like, hey, I'm happy that happened? Is there anything that is missing that you're like, where the hell's that? Where's that nerf? Where's that buff? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interesting to read through. And remember as well, let me know your opinion about the new potential leaked champion. Anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on the video, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.